It's the NFL on EA Sports. And up next, we'll see this team's towering wide receiver. He should be one of his quarterback's best friends this week. Buckle up. There's football coming your way on Thursday.
As the weekend approaches, let's settle in and end the week right, with an outstanding Thursday night contest here with the NFL on EA Sports. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Up here in the booth, I'm Kate Scotts alongside Brock Heward. And Brock, now that we're into the November portion of our season, we've got a pretty good picture of who both of these We're playing under the lights and some heavy rain here tonight. And off we go on Thursday night. Some good work on that return. Brock gets this up to the 33. So out comes their offense for its first possession of the game. And they'll be led out by their fourth-year quarterback.
Sure feels like the bye week came at a perfect time for him and his team as well. Right smack dab in the middle of the season, giving everybody some time to rest, recharge mentally, and really get yourself energized, Kate, to attack the rest of this regular season, starting with this contest.
They'll run here on first down. And he won't get anything there. Several defenders nearby to hold him up. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. They'll motion him out of the backfield. And he let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. So they're left facing 3rd and long. Looking for a throw here. He's on the move. Oh, he's going to run for it. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
This is one of those occasions that it looks so promising when you take off as a quarterback, and then you're reminded just how fast these defenses are in the NFL. Couldn't quite move the chains, but it wasn't for a lack of trying.
On now comes their punter. And I imagine they were hoping they wouldn't need to bring him out so soon into this game. And he drives this into the pouring rain. Begins his return at the 16. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. So here's their offense now to take over for the first time. And we're going to look at their QB. I know my partner Brock Heward's excited about this guy, one of the league's few lefties at the position.
And all those touchdowns he had last week, Kate, he traded every one of them in exchange for a victory. It's team over individual for him. So even though he himself is coming off the exact type of showing you want, that kind of efficiency usually wins you games, he's not happy about it. And he will be focusing on rectifying those things here.
3 yards on the first down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7. Back now, pressure on its way. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to be out of bounds just before reaching the 30.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. It's a 4-yard gain, and that's going to get him across the marker and earn the first.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the first down.
And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up. From the 37. Short pass brought in. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Open space inside the 40. They pick up 20 yards there. And it'll give them a first down.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. And that sprung him to get to the 2nd level and beyond.
They've come out swinging to begin this contest as they've got it down to the 31. To throw it on first down. Finds him over the middle. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. And the third and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Escapes the pocket. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense. And now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin because we know pressure leads to sacks. And sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Caught quickly on the slant. And he's in. Touchdown! These guys have a great first drive and get the game's first points. He finds one of his great receivers, Brock, and they are off to a great start to begin this ball game.
Yeah, it's such a positive offensively when you can go find not just a field goal, but a touchdown on that opening drive. And defensively, this starts to shake the foundation of your preparation and makes you wonder what's in store.
Setting up to try the point after. Extra point sent in through the rain. And his guys will jump out to a 7-0 lead. And after they reach the end zone, they'll kick it off and turn things over to the defense. He fields it from the 8. This return makes it up to the 25. So here comes this offense for its second series of the game. They didn't start the game off like they wanted, Brock. Still searching for that opening first down as they take the field a second time. And he's brought down by a collective effort there. Only 1 yard on the carry.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
Throw left side, complete. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. They're set up at the 35 now. First and 10, looking to throw. Throwing the out route, complete. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
There's no route on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
Completed to his running back. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. They gain 14 on the play. And they'll have first down.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Trying to throw here out of the gun. Hits him on the out route. And he's out of bounds after getting this one to the opposing 45-yard line. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Option design here. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
What was supposed to move the chains or at least make third down easier to handle instead? Well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. Now makes this third down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
They'll throw on 3rd and long. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
You know, Kate, that was one of those situations where you hear a quarterback having a clock, right? You know, and he had enough time in the pocket, but then it was like, okay, time is running out, and I got to do something. He did not force a throw and risk a pick. Instead, he just got rid of it and cut his losses.
Their offense headed back out for its second drive of the contest. And so far, they've executed exactly how they drew it up, Brock. Early lead, no points allowed, and a chance now to seize control of the game on their second possession.
And, Kate, generally, offenses love to script their first 10 to 15 plays. Well, this entire game script is playing out just the way they want to.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They'll try and throw it here. Completed over the middle. And he's short of the first after a mile gain. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. We've arrived at the end of one on Thursday night. Neither side separating much so far. Take a quick break, and we'll be back with more of the NFL on EA Sports. We're back, and we'll join this drive already in progress to begin quarter 2. They'll have it 3rd and 3. He lofts it deep, right sideline. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. So they're gonna have to evaluate things now on 4th and short. Punt team is on now, and they get this away. Punt meets him at the 28. And he's brought down before the return gets far. That punt gets up to 59 yards. And they'll get ready to go on offense. Back out runs their offense. And they're hoping they can keep the punter off the field this time around, Brock, after he's been called upon each of their first 2 possessions. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Finds the in route, complete. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. From the 41. Dump off caught by his back. And he's going to be brought down at the 42.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
3rd down from the gun. Oh, and the rush is too much. He's taken down. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
You know, when we watch Combine each and every single year, I hope you get good enough to understand as a football fan, watch the big guys' first 10 yards. Don't watch the ends and the linemen run 40. Watch their first 10, because that's the most critical. And that defensive end showed you right there the kind of explosive burst in the first few yards to get home for the big sack.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. Officially a 55-yard launch. And they're going to take over possession. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Complete over the middle. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
He's on the move. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
At the 41-yard line.
Trying again, following the sack. Has it downfield, working the left. He does it. Touchdown. These guys pull that in front further. 13-zip. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
That one splits the uprights. And these guys double their lead to 14. They put a touchdown on the board, and now they'll send it away. Has this at the 6. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. Their offense returning to the field for another possession. And it's not good, Brock, when you're discussing their punter as one of your early game MVPs, but they just haven't been able to get anything going so far.
No, you'll hear some old school coaches, especially defensive-minded coaches, Kate, they'll say, hey, man, there's nothing wrong with the drive ending with a kick, right? As a quarterback and as an offense, maybe that was the way you played the game back in the day, but not modern football. You've got to go score.
The give here on 2nd. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I think with that call, they were trying to set him up with a short 3rd down run, but he said, nope, not on my watch. I'll just go get it all right here. Now, playbook's wide open for 1st and 10.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And they're all over him again. He's dropped at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Motioning the tight end left. From the gun on 3rd down. That's caught for the 1st. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that 1st down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
1st and 10 now from the 30. He tosses right to the short side. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4. Running back sent in motion. 2nd and 4. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces 3rd down. Throwing from the gun here. And this is going to be incomplete. Great looking catch, but he lost track of that sideline and went out of bounds. We've got 4th down.
You know, that is such a bummer because as a quarterback, gosh, you got to give your receiver enough space and enough real estate to make that catch in bounds. That was off just enough to carry the receiver to the sideline before he could establish possession. A dependable kicker, man, that is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
Return coming from the 6. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideouts. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's his running back. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a pickup of 26. And that'll be a 1st down. Pass play coming here. Finds him on the slant. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. They're now set for 1st and 10. He's going to throw this one. Getting out to his left. He's keeping it. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
This will bring us to the 2-minute warning. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Slot man in motion left. To the air now on 1st and 10. Forced out to his right.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
From the 16. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but, man, the defense took that away, too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field.
Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. The defense calls a timeout. That's their first. As they'll get together and discuss with fourth down coming up. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And that extends their lead to 14.
You always feel like you leave a few points on the field when you kick it from here, but they don't wind up empty-handed on the drive. And the kicker, well, he gets to pad his stats a little bit with a high percentage make.
Has this at the 6. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Here comes their offense out again. They're trailing, but there's enough time, Brock, that they could get a scoring drive to attack that here before the break. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun. Finds him over the middle. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. Prior to first down, they decide to call a timeout. He'll throw it. Hits him on the in route. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. Throw left side, complete. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains. First down, ball at the 36. He'll throw it yet again. Throwing the out route complete. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. All set up now for 1st and 10. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. That'll be incomplete, and the clock shows 10 seconds left.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
And that one is good. A little longer, but no problem at all. And that'll get him back to 11.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
He's going to return it from a yard or two deep. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. All right, snap and a quick kneel down, and the final few seconds are going to elapse here in our first half. That is the halfway point here on Thursday night. As we hear from Jonathan Coachman over in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Brock in just a moment. But first, let's give everybody a look at what's coming up later this weekend around the NFL. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on what should be a very tough.
Gonna have to make those halftime adjustments on the fly today. We're skipping right through to the start of the third quarter. Returning it from the 4. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The home teams are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, they're going to throw. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
They come to the line here. This is 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Trying to throw here out of the gun. Caught by the tight end, running that corner. Oh, this big guy is moving. He makes it in for the touchdown. These guys grow the lead coming out of halftime. And that right there, Brock, is a touchdown I think our fellow broadcaster Greg Olson would be proud of. A big strike to the tight end that I don't think a lot of receivers could have pulled off and make it look as easy.
You know, a lot of times you're splitting hairs talking about the differences between tight ends and receivers at this level because a lot of those guys, they work the same route tree and they move with the football, well, just like their receiver teammates. And they can score some lengthy touchdowns too, just like he showed off.
That one right down the middle. And his guys push their lead to 18. Following the touchdown, they'll kick it back and see what the opposition has in store. Fielded at the 7. He's stopped on the return at the 27. This offense getting all set for this series. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw in their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4. They'll motion him out of the backfield. He's got it over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. He's dropping back to throw. Completed to his running back. That one goes for 25 yards. And it'll give him a 1st down.
Man, I love that effort, adding as much as possible to that catch while earning the 1st down. That's called yards after catch, and it's what coaches want from all their pass catchers on the roster.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Play action on 1st down. Finds him on the crossing route. And they haul him down just a foot or two shy of the red zone. They'll come up 1st and 10. Trying the right side. And he doesn't get this one very far. Down to only about the 18. It's a gain of 3 for him. That brings up 2nd and 7. Now looking to throw. The throw is caught. And he will take this in. Touchdown! These guys start the 2nd half with some needed points. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
That one splits the uprights. And these guys make it an 11-point ball game. Now after the touchdown, they'll kick it back and see what the opposition can do. His return starts at the 5. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. The home team's ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Throwing now from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush your passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
That throw's knocked away and incomplete. 4th down coming up.
You know, I don't fault that look at all, Kate, downfield. It was just an excellent defensive play to deny him the ball and knock it away. That is good on good.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And a sure-handed play there in the rain. He brings in the fair catch without a problem. The visitors headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You know what that felt like to me, Kate? That felt like a little bit of overthinking, where he's just waiting for the perfect lane and the breakaway run. But against defenses in this league, you hesitate, you get tackled for a loss.
Completed over the middle. And that will not be enough for a 1st down.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
He just throws this one away.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL where they come down to a play or two and 3rd downs critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, the coach wants to see them convert those.
Punter on now, and he gets into this one. And he collects the fair catch just inside the 35. That punt goes unanswered, no return there. And it'll be their football. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
Complete out to the right. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain.
That's just discipline with a capital D. The play in the huddle is a running back screen, but it takes discipline for that offensive line to not get downfield. Discipline for that receiver to stay alert, stay aware that he's a viable option as well.
And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. That's good for 7 yards. And it sets up 1st down. They kick the running back in motion. Taking the deep shot there on 1st down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete. So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. They'll throw it again. Complete over the middle. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. So early movement from the backfield, Brock. They jumped the gun a bit, and that brings out the flag.
Ball start, offense.
All twitched up. They were ready to get it on 3rd and inches, but now a much different situation awaiting them after that false start. It's 3rd and 5 for them after the penalty. They put a receiver in motion here left. Shotgun now on 3rd down. And no look there. That throw falls to the ground.
So many coaches love 3rd downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know got to execute and convert on these 3rd downs.
And this will hit the goal line and then go into the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense getting set to work here. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Here's a give up the middle. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Going to be second down.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
And it looks great flying through the air, Brock, but problems on the business end as it falls to the ground. Third down coming up. Back to throw. Cut out left. And he'll be brought down along the 25-yard line.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, and you can make a play in the open field. Keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
And that fair catch brought in just beyond the 30-yard line. So no return on that punt. And it's going to be their football coming up. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
We've reached the end of the third quarter on this Thursday night. This one not out of reach quite yet, but it is a 2-score game to begin the fourth. Second and 6 coming up here. From the 36. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. And that brings up third down.
And 6 yards to go.
Back to throw. Dumped off to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds at his own 45. That's a pickup of 9. And that gives them the first.
This dude just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that first down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
Ball on the 45, first and 10. Back to throw now. Short pass brought in. Give him 13 on that play. And they're going to have a first down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
They've got a man in motion. Still sticking with the passing game. Setting up the running back screen. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. That play good for 17 and a first down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
Underneath it goes. Catch made by the running back. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. To the line we go. They're set, first and 10. They'll empty the backfield and motion him right. Hits his running back. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
And he's brought down for a loss.
He was taken down.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
They're going to throw it on third and long. And in for the touchdown. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on the football field. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. And he sure did.
They'll set up here for the point after. Bad weather doesn't affect that extra point. It's good. And his guys push their lead to 18. And after they reach the end zone, they'll kick it off and turn things over to the defense. That's going to be taken in at the 8. The return manages to get just beyond the 30. Now outruns their offense to take over. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. They've got first down from the 31. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Looking right, and he finds him. And he's tackled for a short gain. Second down now, 7 to go. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Pass is hauled in by the running back. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. Third and 6 for them to figure out now. He'll look to throw. Can't connect over the middle. It's incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. So they're left with 4th down here. They're throwing it. And they won't do it. That falls incomplete on 4th down.
Even the best receivers, they've got occasional breaks in concentration. You just never want to see it happen. One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though, it's he'll be up for the challenge the next time the ball comes his way.
First down, ball at the 36. Running it now out of the gun. And he'll come up with a gain of 3 on the run up the middle.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. They got 2 yards there. That leaves them with 3rd down and 5. Dropping back to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And they haul him down just a foot or 2 shy of the red zone. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that'll give him a first down. Pass play now. Pass caught, 9-yard line. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. He gets him 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd and goal. Looking to the air here. And like an empty wrapper, he just throws that one away. So now, here's 3rd and goal. setting up a throw. And it's caught. Touchdown! These guys keep adding to that fourth quarter lead. Slant route, as it does so many times every game we call, Brock. Paying dividends. Made that touchdown look a lot easier than it was.
An uncontested release that close to the end zone spells disaster for a defense every time, Kate. You got to have a whole lot more physicality at the point of attack because a QB is always going to be looking for that short little slant near the goal line.
That one right down the middle. And these guys grow their lead yet again. They put a touchdown on the board, and now they'll send it away. He fields it from the 8. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Their offense ready to take the field now. And the last time we saw them, Brock, they took a risk, went for it on their own half of the field, but it didn't work out. Shotgun snap, they're going to throw. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. 1st and 10 from the 41. They'll throw it. Hits him on the out route. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Here's a throw. And he fires this one, but it's incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Running back sent in motion. Caught for big yards on the right side. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains. We've reached the 2-minute warning. These guys trying to make it look a little nicer on that scoreboard. All right, set now, 1st and 10. They'll motion him out of the backfield left. That one's complete, right side. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Has it at the 7. He has the touchdown. Now, this one has been a long game, no doubt. But, hey, something positive to look back on there.
But they didn't quit, Kate, and I know that sounds a little cliche at this professional level, but it really is an important thing. This one will still hurt, but they showed some execution and fire.
Looking to tack on the point after. Got a good plant in the rain there. The extra point flies through. And his guys make it an 18-point game. With time ticking away, they prepare for a must-get onside kick. And they aren't able to get it back. The hands team does its job. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. This offense and their quarterback making their way back out there, ready to take over once again. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. On 1st down, they'll run. And he'll scurry forward for a pickup of 3. A
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it, and we'll move to the next.
Another carry for him. And he gets taken down immediately right at the line of scrimmage. Stuck to the ground, but nothing gained that time, and it brings up 3rd and 7.
Third down and 7.
So something to be proud of, Brock, as they come away with the win. And they take not just a victory, but some serious year-long bragging rights home with them after this one, as they finish off the sweep of their division rivals. So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. It was a great effort from our winners as we say goodnight, everybody.